Cooper Flagg completely took over college basketball as an 18-year-old. He won the Wooden Award in the AP National Player of the Year while leading Duke to a Final Four appearance. This wasn't just hype, it was a takeover. Cooper Flagg is breaking basketball, and here's how. Here's the thing about Cooper Flagg. We've seen plenty of five-star recruits. We've seen athletic freaks, sharpshooters, playmakers, defenders, you name it. But Cooper, he's not just checking boxes, he's rewriting them. Let's start with the defense, because that's where the real separation begins. Most elite high school prospects are known for their scoring, but defense, that's usually the weak spot, but not with Flagg. He's already defending like a seasoned NBA vet, no exaggeration. He's switchable 1 through 5. He can hang with quick guards on the perimeter, fight through screens, and still recover to protect the rim. And he doesn't just block shots, he erases them strategically. The kind of blocks that start fast breaks or completely deflate an opponent's run. When you watch him rotate from the weak side, it's perfect timing every time, like he's reading the play before it even happens. Offensively, he's not just some raw athlete hoping for a highlight, he's calculated, smooth, and confident. His jump shot is polished, with a high, clean release. His footwork is elite, especially for a guy who's 6'9". He can face you up, jab step, pull up, or he can take you off the dribble and finish through contact. And the passing? Don't sleep on the passing. Flagg routinely throws skip passes, hit-ahead outlets, and no-look dimes. He reads the floor like a point guard. He makes the right play, not the flashy one, unless the flashy one is the right play. But the skills, as impressive as they are, aren't what really separate him. It's the mentality. This kid plays with an edge. He hates losing. He talks, he claps, he stares opponents down after buckets, not in an over-the-top look-at-me way, in a you don't belong on this court with me kind of way. He shows up in big moments, he craves pressure, embraces it, thrives in it. It's rare to find someone this talented who also plays this hard every possession. No shortcuts, no off-switch. That's what makes him different. He's not just playing the game, he's owning it. Every dribble, every rotation, every possession. You don't see that very often. Now let's talk about the hype, because Cooper Flagg didn't sneak up on anyone. He wasn't some under-the-radar, late-blooming prospect. He entered the national spotlight as the consensus best player in high school, and from the moment he reclassified up a year and still ranked as the #1 spot in the class of 2024, the basketball world started holding its breath. ESPN dubbed him the best American prospect since Zion. Social media turned every Montverde highlight into a viral mixtape. Recruiting sites couldn't stop posting about his upside. And the whispers started, this could be the guy. You've heard that before, right? The next big thing, the future of the league, generational. Most guys crack under that weight. They start believing their own headlines, and when real adversity hits, they fold. But Flagg, he invited the pressure. He didn't just carry the hype, he weaponized it. He came into Duke with more national attention than any freshman since Zion Williamson. And instead of deferring to upperclassmen or easing into the spotlight, he owned it from day one. He was the best player on the floor from the opening tip of the season, and it wasn't even close. He played like someone who knew all eyes were on him, and instead of shying away, he made sure those eyes saw something unforgettable. He gave ESPN their highlights, he gave Duke fans their leader, and he gave opposing coaches nightmares. Even more impressive, he didn't just show flashes, he showed consistency. Every big moment, every top 25 matchup, every game where people said, alright, let's see what this kid's really got. He delivered. I mean, he led Duke to a 19-1 conference record and a perfect 17-0 at home. and he led them in not just 1, 2, or 3 statistical categories. He led the team in every single statistical category. This wasn't just a good season, it's a season that validated every ounce of hype he carried into college. Cooper Flagg didn't just meet expectations, he completely exceeded them. Now, if we're gonna talk about how great of a freshman season at Duke, it's only right to compare Coop's freshman year to the other great one-and-done seasons at Duke. Because when it comes to Duke basketball, there's a certain standard, especially for elite point forwards. Think back to Jason Tatum in 2017. He came in polished, poised, and NBA ready. He entered the league as a smooth scorer who turned it on late and helped carry Duke to an ACC title. But his tournament run ended in the second round, and as good as he was, it felt like he had more in the tank. Think back to Zion Williamson in 2019. He came in as a walking highlight reel. Powerful, explosive, and built like an NFL linebacker. From the moment he stepped on the court, he took over college basketball. He dominated the regular season, won National Player of the Year, and turned every Duke game into must-see TV. But when March Madness rolled around, as great as he was, the run ended sooner than expected. Duke fell in the Elite Eight to Michigan State, and despite Zion averaging nearly 27 points across the tournament, it felt like the story wasn't finished. It felt like he had more to give. Another one that comes to mind is, of course, Paolo Banchero in 2022. Big, skilled, and confident, he led Duke all the way to the Final Four in Coach K's final season. Made huge plays, put the team on his back at times, but even then, it didn't feel like his team until late in the year, and they came up just short in the semifinal. And then there's Brandon Ingram in 2016. Lanky, smooth, and oozing potential. He had the tools, the jumper, the length, the handle, and looked like a future NBA star in flashes. But Duke's season was up and down, and Ingram, while impressive, never fully took command. They lost in the Sweet 16, and it felt like his college career ended before he ever hit his full stride, like the best version of him was just starting to emerge. Now, enter Cooper Flagg, and he matches up just as well as these who have all been NBA All-Stars. From the moment he put on a Duke jersey, he was the guy. No gradual rise, no waiting period, just impact, immediate, undeniable, and relentless. And he's doing what even Tatum and Banchero couldn't: dominate in the postseason, own March. Tatum had the tools, Paolo had the build, but Flagg has everything: the scoring touch, the defensive instincts, the basketball IQ, the motor, the leadership. He's a blend of both, with a whole lot more. Tatum was a bucket, Banchero was a bully, but Flagg, he's the heartbeat, the floor general, the alpha and the anchor all in one. And here's the wild part. He's doing it as an 18-year-old freshman who reclassified, walked into one of the most pressure-filled spots in college basketball, and made it look easy. The Final Four court in San Antonio wasn't just a stage, it was a proving ground. And while Duke came up short against Houston, Flagg never backed down. He put up 27 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals against the most suffocating defense in the country. He became the first player to ever lead his team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks in a Final Four game since the defensive stats became official in 1986. That's what it means to leave it all out there on the court, and that's what separates him. It's not just the talent, it's the relentlessness and impact you get every time he's on the floor. Because what Flagg did at Duke is comparable, if not better, than the Duke stars before him. Now let's take another step back. Because we just looked at how he stacked up against some elite Duke forwards in the last decade. But how does he stack up against some of the best one-and-done freshman seasons in college basketball history? Let's break it down. Because what Cooper Flagg did, it wasn't just impressive, it was historically rare. We've seen dominant freshmen before. Kevin Durant at Texas in 2007, he was a walking bucket who averaged 25 and 11, redefined what a 6'10" forward could be, and became the first freshman ever to win the Naismith Player of the Year. Or Anthony Davis at Kentucky in 2012, the defensive cheat code who shattered shot-blocking records and carried the Wildcats to a national title without needing to score 30 a night. And of course, you have Carmelo Anthony at Syracuse in 2003, the blueprint. Cool under pressure, clutch in big moments, and dominant when it mattered most. He didn't just play well in March, he won March. Led Syracuse to its first and only national title, dropping 20 and 10 like clockwork. Those guys changed the sport in their own ways. They made you stop, rewind, and watch again. They made you say, "We've never seen anything like this." Now fast forward to 2025, and a guy who came pretty damn close to securing a legacy like those guys was Cooper Flagg. What Durant did with pure scoring, Flagg matches with all-around command. What Davis anchored with defense, Flagg echoes with two-way versatility. What Carmelo mastered with poise and polish on the biggest stage, Flagg mirrors with his maturity, decision-making. And while Zion captured America with his force and flair, Flagg balances with calm and control. He doesn't just play like a star, he thinks like one. He reads the game, bends it, and has complete control on the floor. A reclassified 18-year-old from Maine stepping into the most pressure-packed program in college basketball and owning it. No excuses, no training wheels, no learning curve, just impact. He didn't inherit a stacked roster, he elevated one. He didn't follow a blueprint, he became the blueprint. Of course, Cooper Flagg has a lot more to prove in his NBA career, but putting up similar stat lines and similar leadership and winning success as Tatum, Paolo, and Zion, it's a really good sign for this kid. And if his freshman year campaign was at least in conversations with guys like KD, AD, and Melo, we know this kid can be something special. This is the chapter that locks it in. Let's be honest. This was never going to be a 4-year college journey for Cooper. I get the argument to maybe stay in college for one more year. A ton of NIL money, comfortability in that Duke system, and something to prove coming off the Final Four loss. But how can Cooper push off a year of potentially getting a supermax contract? Because right now, Flagg is the consensus #1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft, and it's not close. And at this point, the only real question is which team gets the honor of drafting him. He checks every single box. He has the size as a 6'9" wing with a 7-foot wingspan. He has the versatility as a guy who can guard anyone on the floor. He has the skill as a shooter, can handle the basketball, and has great vision. And he had a great mentality as an elite competitor who is arguably even better on defense than he is on offense. You're not just drafting a player, you're drafting a franchise identity. And the fit? Oh man, the possibilities are scary. Imagine somehow Flagg ends up in San Antonio, paired with Victor Wembanyama, two generational defenders anchoring the same team. The Spurs would instantly become the most feared defense in the league. Or what about Charlotte? Give LaMelo Ball a high IQ, two-way running mate who can cover for him on D and give him a real lob threat and pick-and-pop partner. Or hey, throw him on a rebuilding team like Washington or Portland. Let him be the face of the franchise from day one. Give him the keys. Build the culture around him. Wherever he lands, the path is clear. Flagg steps in and contributes immediately, especially on defense. That's what separates him from so many other top prospects. You don't have to wait and see. You don't need a 2-year development arc. You plug him in and he makes winning plays right now. And let's not forget, he's still just 18. He's producing like a pro in college and still has so much room to grow. His ceiling? A perennial all-NBA two-way forward. A franchise cornerstone, a guy you build your team, your culture, your brand around. His floor? An elite role player. Think prime Shane Battier, with a handle and more athleticism. Which still sounds like a guy you'd want in your playoff rotation tomorrow. There's no safer bet in this draft, and no bigger prize. Cooper Flagg wasn't just the best player in college basketball. He's something new, something we haven't seen in a very long time. He's breaking the timeline, breaking expectations, breaking basketball. So here's the question. Is this the greatest freshman season since Anthony Davis? Since Carmelo? Or are we watching the new gold standard? Let me know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, like the video, and subscribe for more.